The original Galaxy Note was the first real phablet that I fell in love with. I was actually at the original launch event in Germany, and people were scoffing at the idea of a 5.3-inch monster of a phone, but I was personally enthralled. At the time, I had a 3.5-inch rectangle just chilling in my pocket. I began wondering what I could do with all that screen real estate. So 4 years have passed since the original debuted at IFA in Germany, and now in its 5th iteration, it's as controversial as the first one. I'm John Rettinger from TechnoBuffalo, and this is our review of the Samsung Galaxy Note 5.
As I do with all my reviews, let me give a few disclaimers. I tested the device for 11 days, 7 days with the international unit on AT&T and 4 with an AT&T branded unit, obviously on their network. Todd, who did the written portion, used his phone for the same time with the last 4 days worth of Verizon model instead. If you want to know any more detail on anything I'm going to talk about, including full camera samples and galleries, hit the link down below and check out the full written portion. As I dive in, I'm going to try to answer the question, would I buy this? I tried to not rehash the same things from the Galaxy S6 Edge Plus review, so I'll be focusing on the experience. If you want benchmarks, we'll link to that review down below as well. From a purely aesthetic standpoint, it's hard not to love the glass and metal design. It's a total carryover from the Galaxy S6 introduced earlier this year. However, you'll no longer get expandable storage through a microSD card slot, which means you're limited to 32 or 64 gigs of storage. Fans of the Galaxy Note have long expected to have this, and we've seen plenty of comments suggesting that many fans prefer the Galaxy Note 4 since it offers a microSD card slot and another feature, a movable battery. Fake leather back be damned. There's also been a lot of concern about the design of Samsung's S Pen, which if inserted backwards can completely bork your phone. Insert the wrong way once and you've got a chance of ruining the sensor. Insert it too far and you may have actually got it stuck in there permanently. At first I thought this was completely blown out of proportion, then I was messing around and put the S Pen in backwards on purpose, just a little bit, and I couldn't pull it out. I broke the sensor. So don't be a John, look before you put your pen in. Those concerns aside, every other aspect of this phone is absolutely first class. The phone runs on an octa-core Exynos 7420 chip, the same as in the Galaxy S6, though Samsung padded the phone with an extra gig of RAM, giving you now 4 gigs total. And I'm slowly getting used to saying that, 4 gigs in a phone, which still just sounds like a lot. In my experience though, using the phone for daily gaming, email, phone calls, and more, I never once saw it stutter, as you'd expect. Sometimes we see phones start to slow down after a few months, but something tells me the Note 5 has enough power to totally avoid that for months and months to come. Assuming it works, the S Pen is way better than previous generations. It's way more premium looking and feeling, and no longer looks like a skinny plastic stick. And for functionality, it works really well on display for taking notes, setting documents, and cropping photos. Todd goes into way more detail on this. I also really like the ability to draw a note with the screen off. It's helpful, but it mostly just lived holstered and unused during my testing. And finally, the thing your eyes are going to be staring at, that gorgeous display. You're going to find a Quad HD AMOLED panel that's bright and crisp in all conditions, even when I used it outdoors. It boils down to this: the Galaxy Note 5 and the Galaxy S6 Edge Plus have the best screens on any phone that have ever come out to market. Todd hasn't been a big fan of TouchWiz, but I'm okay with it here. It's way lighter than before, and in all candor, all I really saw of it is notification shade and the settings screen since I ran Google Now Launcher, which, for whatever it's worth, gives you 5 icons down plus the dock. Moral being, if you're worried about TouchWiz from a Note 4 or GS5 experience, exhale. Samsung learned. Also on the software side is SideSync 4.0, which allows you to manage your phone entirely from your PC. They did say Mac software is coming. So that means being able to answer text, take phone calls, quickly transferring files, and more. It's not the prettiest software in the world and haven't always loved SideSync on other devices, such as Samsung Android tablets, but it does work pretty well here. Next, let's talk about camera. The camera on the Galaxy S6 totally blew us away, and the Note 5, which features the same sensor and same software improvements, is one of my favorite features of the phone. I found it a rare occurrence to snap a photo that I didn't like or appreciate, and that's a huge compliment to the phone against its competitors, which sometimes require multiple shots to get the photo that you really want to use. Low light shots in restaurant, for example, came out excellent. Shots in daylight were always more impressive. Samsung also had a really cool new feature. It lets you live stream directly from the camera app to YouTube. It's sort of like what you might do with Meerkat or Periscope. It works really well, and something I hope to see on other phones. So before I wrap things up, let's talk about that battery. The Galaxy Note 5 supports Samsung's proprietary adaptive fast charging. It provides as much juice as possible in as little time as possible. Samsung promises a 50% charge in just 30 minutes, which I found to be generally true. And when I tried it, it seemed like a parlor trick. Usually I'd have a full charge about an hour, hour and a half, which is pretty incredible. Definitely keep in mind though, you're going to need the adaptive fast charging plug, which is signified by the lightning bolt on the side of it. The standard is different than Qualcomm's Quick Charge 2.0, which is supported by a variety of Qualcomm Snapdragon processors. Overall, the battery life was about the same as the Galaxy S6 Edge Plus. You can get through a full day, but be careful. If you scroll through countless Twitter feeds, Instagram feeds, you got your screen brightness set up to 80%, you're gonna have difficulty. Set it to auto, and maybe limit how much you're on it, you'll be able to get through a full day. You are gonna have to change your usage though if you plan on using this phone without charging it at all throughout the day. Thankfully though, if you do charge it and use the aforementioned fast charging feature to top it off, it's going to charge very quickly, or throw it on a Qi or PMA wireless charger.
The Galaxy Note 5, for me, covers nearly every feature that I'm looking for in a smartphone. The display is absolutely gorgeous, the camera is really incredible, and you'll get great photos in almost every situation, low light, high light, wherever you are, and at least good enough to share with your friends, which is really what matters most, at least for me, from a smartphone. The phone charges incredibly quickly, it seems like a party trick. It's got decent battery life, not great, and design I think is incredible, pretty close to perfect. So I get that I also might be in the minority. I respect the opinion of folks who want more from their phone, who look at the Galaxy Note 4 and want that back. They want the removable micro SD card slot, they want swappable batteries, and I get it. But at some point it seems Samsung decided that cloud storage is going to have to be good enough and industrial design trumps those features. And I get that too. And for me, I'm not the kind of person who ever carried extra SD cards or extra batteries, so I've learned to adapt. So about that would I buy it question I asked at the beginning, and the answer should be pretty obvious at this point. It's a resounding yes. I absolutely would, and you should too. I just wish that it came in gold in the US. The Note 5 gets a 9 on the TechnoBuffalo scale out of 10. And what do you guys think? Do you agree or disagree? I'd love to hear your thoughts on it. Leave the comments down below. Is the Note 5 the phone for you? Is the Galaxy S6 Edge Plus the one that you want to carry? Again, love to hear your thoughts, and if you want to see the full review, link will be down below. If you want to see a review of the Galaxy S6 Edge Plus, the review will also be down below. Thank you for watching. Until next time, John Ranger from TechnoBuffalo, and be nice to each other in the comments.